Okay, fifth graders, last time we were here, we used our initials, so the first letter of our first, middle, and last names, to create a shape and line design using radial symmetry. Remember that radial symmetry means that from a circle, each slice repeats the exact same way. So symmetry meaning same, radial meaning from the circle. So next we are going to color it. We're going to use colored pencils, so before we can use those, I need to go over some colored pencil etiquette, meaning manners. So first rule is that there is no tapping or dropping the colored pencils. I understand accidents happen, but we are not going to be tapping our pencils, and we are going to try to keep care that they stay on the table. The reason for this is because that tapping and dropping a colored pencil ends up cracking that color core, so that piece of color that runs all the way through the wood, and that's what makes it hard to sharpen. So I know that all of you have tried to sharpen a colored pencil before, and then the tip of the lead just falls right out. That's because of tapping and dropping. So try to be taking care of your colored pencils because that color core is very soft and can crack on the inside. Also, you are only going to use the little handheld sharpeners to sharpen your colored pencils. You don't want to use the electric pencil sharpener because the color has a little bit of stickiness to it and it gets stuck in the electric pencil sharpener and it clogs it up, meaning that your other pencils aren't going to be as sharp. And my last rule is that you are going to be coloring lightly and then layer your colors. You can always fix it if you color lightly. When we are coloring our mandalas, that's what I'm going to be calling them, you are going to want to remember your radial symmetry. So not only is your design going to be radially symmetrical, but also your colors. Each slice should still be the same, okay? And I'm going to recommend that you start from your center and work your way outwards. That way your hand doesn't drag through your color as you work your way inward. So I'm going to start by picking my raspberry color because I feel like it, and I'm going to hold it back just a little bit from the end because that way you can be sure that you're pressing lightly, and try to color all in one direction. It's going to keep your artwork looking more neat. And I've got that whole center filled in, and I didn't have to worry about my boundaries of my slice because mine's just a hole. I can, if I want to make it darker, I can just layer over top of it a little bit more. And once I get where I want, I can scooch my hand up and I can fill in. Please notice that I am still coloring all in one direction because that's what makes it beautiful. You're welcome. Now that my center is filled in, I'm actually going to start with these little oval shapes that I have. And I'm going to make sure that I color each one of those in before I move on to another part. So I'm just going to be circling around and filling those in lightly. So I fast forwarded so that you can see what it looks like when it's all done. Please don't forget that you can add layers by mixing colors with your colored pencils. You can also push harder in some spots once you get all of your colors where you want them. But this is what your finished product should look like. I do expect you to be coloring inside of your boundaries that you've created and using your neater coloring skills.